Hey guys, KinShun here with another Unison League video. Today I'm going to do the New Year's Guild Raid for you to take down the Zonomin Limamin monster. This raid is pretty special. It's not one of your typical raid monsters that you get. The past ones being Magnetar and Alpha Castro. I think this one's a 23 AP SSR red summon that you can get. Does about 140 AP damage at max. So here we are. Here's my guild, Winlu, trying to take it down. We have no idea what to expect. This is our first time taking it down, so we don't know what skills they do, he does, what to expect, and how hard he really is. As you can see, he does a couple of new skills that takes a lot of damage um, for us. And right off the bat, we see here um, our tank is already dead. So he does a couple of skills here. We got Lee Mimin's. I'm dead already. I'm an archer. Lee Mimin, New Year's attack. What else does he do? He does hot soup, Hoshinodo. I apologize if I can't pronounce any of these names. It's just really weird pronunciation. Hosanade. But as you can see, most of his damages or attacks takes about 80 to 90% HP off whichever character. And that's one of the key things that really you gotta expect when you're facing this monster. Even it doesn't matter if you're using a tank, it doesn't matter if you're using a DPS character, Lancer, or Archer for that matter, he'll do about the same damage. The only way to counteract all that is we figured out our strategy is to stagger Unisons, and that's to prevent him from attacking, and it will allow us to build up our cost gauge at the same time to prepare for the next attack. One of his buffs, I think it's called Hot Soup. I'm not completely sure, but he increases his defense and attack 50%. And because he's already doing 80 to 90% of your HP damage already, a buff like this is lethal to your team. And as you can see, our team is going through wipes here and there because of this buff, and it's not really helping our cause. So what you want to do is you want to use balance as soon as he gets his buff up. That way you're able to do maximum damage to his HP, and you're able to survive his attacks. Even our tanks are having a problem. Our healers doing okay trying to keep up, but you know, one hit KOs to our characters usually doesn't really help. Here we are, let's see, with the Valkyrie and the Apollo buff. So what we're trying to do here is to stall for time and for cost at the same time so that my balance can go back and I can use it. I don't know why I use balance there because his buff actually wore off, so that worked out perfectly. But here I'm using a Nyx just to debuff him so he won't do as much damage to us as a team. And I think if you're able to stagger Unisons here and there, plus have a really good heal and balance every single time he casts his buff skill, then this guild raid isn't actually too bad. He doesn't cast any status ailments, no confusion, no paralyze or anything like that. That's the skill. Leave him in rice cake. Once you see that, you want to use balance ASAP. Why? Because even our tank. Oh, actually, that's not a tank. Sorry. The Lancer up there took a one-hit KO with this buffed skill, and as you can see, my balance is coming back. It's still on cooldown, and I just can't wait until the cooldown comes down. So I would suggest having balance on at least 2 characters, so that if one of them dies, you're able to cast balance on a second character just to compensate for that. It is really hard for to keep just make sure it's really hard to keep your balance up because you're constantly using skills to deal damage to the Leomund. So make sure you have about 20 AP at all times when your balance is up, just in case he casts his buff, because a dead character means no DPS. I'd rather hold off on some skills before you use that buff. Um, Sorry, you use the balance to debuff in order to take down the New Year's Leomund. So that's about pretty much the strategy. I think we got the hang of that halfway through the battle. Here it is again. Um, Now we're just stalling for time because my balance is about 9 seconds before it cools down about this point. So this is good here. And another strategy that you want to think about using is Amaterasu. Why? Because if you stack Amaterasu, you're able to create a mirror wall in front of each of the characters that will reflect damage back to the Leomund. And if you're able to stack enough Amaterasus together, you get about 3 to 6 um, reflection stacks on each character, and it really helps decreasing the damage taken for each guild member. And to be honest, since he does so much damage, it seems like you're dealing more damage, reflecting the damage from his attacks than you actually dealing the damage. Um, well, obviously, I think you actually do more damage, but it actually contributes to a fair amount of damage that you do if you put Mirror Guard up, and especially if you're playing Paladin. I don't play Paladin for this particular run, but on the subsequent runs, I do play Paladin, and I put my Mirror Guard up, stacking 10 Mirror Guards together. Same with one of my guild leaders, guild members, Katsuo. Stacking Mirror Guard is the way to go in decreasing damage to ensuring survivability while dealing damage back to the enemy at the same time. So combining two of them, I think in the subsequent runs, we were actually able to take down 2 bars um, per daily run for the guild ray. Now again, this is not by any means a pro guild or high end guild. This is just a pretty average guild about with a gear score about 120, 130, and being able to take down 2 bars for us is a pretty big deal. So don't expect us to take down the whole thing in one day or take down 3 or 4 bars, because for us I think that's pretty hard. I think getting 1 bar down for each of Leomund for each daily run is actually a pretty good advantage for us. So take that into consideration. But at the same time, as you can see, I think we figured it out by this time. Staggering unis is the way to go. And if you're buffing, debuffing, um, and using Amaterasu, that is probably the best way to keep yourself alive while dealing damage and um, defeating the New Year's Leomund. So at the same time, if you're a DPS position, um, do your damage, and if you don't have balance, as soon as your cost is up, be sure to switch with the member that you have that's active, that has cost saved up while being in the reserve, because that's really important to ensure constant damage to the guild boss. Always have a primary and a secondary healer at the ready, so that once members are revived, you're able to heal back any damage that's done to each of the members um, when they've been attacked by the guild raid boss, since he takes about 90 or 80% of the HP of each of the members. It's really imperative that the healer is ready to heal back that HP right when it's sorry about that. Right when when the damage is taken. So be sure to know that. And if the healer does die, you have a backup just in case to help you substitute for the primary healer's role. And as a DPS, well, we went over the DPS role, the healer tank, also support tank. I guess in this case, the role of a tank, Katsuo and our guild member is our only paladin at this point in the game. So his role is to really pretty much attract the attack to him versus the guild members. As you can see, even with that, this guild raid monster does deal a lot of damage. That's AoE that hits all the characters, but there are some skills that either attacks 3 of the members, which means the tank and its adjacent members, or it can do a single target attack. So for those attacks, the tank having that mirror guard up is crucial because he can take as less damage as possible while preventing other people from getting attacked. So not this run, but the subsequent runs that I haven't really recorded, you'll see that me and Katsul, well, you won't see because I don't have the video up, but you'll see that Katsul and I will have Mirror Guard up to 9 and 10 proccing from the Heart of Soldier and Heart of Reflections proc from the weapons that we have. And that really helps with putting up about 9 to 10 Mirror Guards buff up against this guild raid boss. And it reflects a lot of damage, about 10k to 12k damage per attack. And that really helps with this raid boss. So also, if you're able to do so, have all your guild members bring a Matarasu. That way you can stack mirror guards pretty much back to back, and it really helps with all the damage that it does to himself. So with that, our guild is actually not doing too bad for its first run. I think we are able to take down 1 bar this first time around. Just kind of figuring out what is going on, kind of what attacks that he has, and how to go about avoiding his most lethal attacks. As a healer, I would bring Recover and Dignify. No need for Purification because there's, as far as I know so far, there is no status that inflictment from this guild raid boss. So no confusion, no paralyze. It's either you're dead or you're not. So heal, heal, and more heal. And in terms of DPS, just DPS and make sure, again, bring balance. So at this point, just want to go through I think at the end of this video, you'll see that there is guild raid bonuses as well, which I will probably go through when it comes up. But as of right now, I want to say that there is lots of good jobs that you can get from this guild raid boss. Give me 1 second here. Just adjusting the microphone for better audio quality. But yes, I'll go over those guild raid bonuses towards the end. And I think the BP the same BP applies to the previous raids. If you're able to take down 30% of its HP, you get additional bonus BPs. And if you every time you take down 30%, 70% HP, you get an additional BP on top of that as well. Doing a regular run per day, I think I'm able to acquire about 4,800 to 5,000 BP a day, and that's without any of the bonuses that I just mentioned. So if you're able to meet those bonuses, that's about 8,000 on top of that. So make sure you and your guild can coordinate to take down at least a bar a day for this guild raid monsters. And again, this is just for any average guilds with about 100 to 120 guild score, gear score. Not the crazy OP guilds up in the 160s and 170s. Not for those guys. So and even then, like, this guild raid boss is difficult for us. And I think it was about the 3rd time that we finally were able to figure out how to beat this thing consistently and effectively. So think we're running down to the 15, 30, I don't know, 20 second mark. Um, just kind of a recap. This guy does a lot of damage, so bring balance to debuff his buff. Bring Mirror Guard and Matarasu just to decrease its HP. You can bring Abceres as well, just to have an additional debuff canceling, and also bring Stagger Unis. As a healer, just bring lots of heals, Dignifies good, and balance, 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 just to keep yourself alive. All right, so we took a bar off, and that got us about 5,000 BP on our first run. Not too bad. As you can see, it takes about 500 BP just to get the Zonoman. And you can use regular reforged materials to get to reforge the Zonoman to SSR. Unfortunately, that's as high as it'll go for the reforged material um, in terms of reforging the Zonoman, because it doesn't go up to UR, sadly. But for any beginner players or any players that need a red monster that's playing soldier or lancer, this is a good one to have if you need to fill in some monster slots. As far as the other rewards come, you're getting gems, eggplant sword, the falcon, just cosmetic items and a couple of gems, as well as some reforged materials such as the yellow Pasta King and the dark Pasta King. Well, that's it. I hope you like this guide and hope that you can take that Azana with your guild pretty efficiently after watching it. So if you like this video, please comment down the bottom and like the video. And also, if you want to subscribe, you'll see more videos like this one. Well, thanks again for watching the video. I'll see you guys later.